honestly, today, I think you need to send someone home. Someone's gonna go home soon. I can feel it.
I don't think that we're meant for each other.
Hey guys, today we're talking episode 8 of Farmer Wants a Wife.
That's right. Has it gotten any less boring? I don't know.
Well, it's getting down to the nitty gritty with some of these women, so
Yeah, that's true.
That's good. I'm starting to learn more names.
Right, yeah, exactly. Oh, man, and we got Ashleigh back, too.
I still can't keep them straight.
Yes, Ashleigh is back. Not truly back, but back on the show from Alaska.
I seem to have a connection today, so hopefully this works out.
All right, so they're still at the campsite trying to figure things out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
And you got homegirl Joy trying to fish, and you can tell she just like lost the sauce.
Joy's fishing, but
she don't know what the hell she's doing.
The camera, I think, tried to help her out a little bit, but not show the full thing. But you could tell she wasn't casting that very well.
She had no clue what she was doing with that freaking rod, man.
Yeah, and Kristin pulls Nathan aside.
Yeah, and I think we saw this coming, right? She hadn't been feeling it, I think, for a while now, and it was time for somebody to go in that camp, I think. So yeah, I totally get it from her perspective.
Yeah, she pulls herself from the show. There really wasn't a spark, but I don't know if she really tried too hard.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe she just wasn't feeling him like that. I mean, she kind of mentioned that a little bit, but because she's like, hey, even if we do go on a one-on-one date, I just don't know if we can get past the friend zone. I just don't know if I'm kind of feeling you that way. So yeah, maybe he just wasn't her cup of tea, man.
Yeah, what do you think about Kristin?
I mean, if she said that they'd been there 5 weeks, if you've been there 5 weeks and you just feel uncomfortable and you're not like clicking, like why stay? I get it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and it's solo date decision time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they didn't throw this in the last episode, but they saved it for us here.
Right, yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, because they got to fill the space somehow, this boring-ass show.
Jeez. Well, Ty chooses Ashleigh over Brooke. Brooke hasn't had a one-on-one date yet.
Yeah, and we all saw that coming, man. I mean, after watching the last episode and the way he reacted to Brooke and everything, I was like, yeah, he's totally picking Ashleigh. Like, it didn't surprise me one bit.
You know, I thought in that moment, Brooke handled it pretty well, but I did think it was a little bit of a slap in the face. And then the date, well, I guess we'll talk about the later, the date with Ashleigh. Like, I thought they were really clicking, and then something seems off with that. So,
well, Nathan chooses McKenzie. So
yeah. I mean, we saw that coming, right? I mean, other one got sent home, so his next thing is McKenzie, right? They haven't taken her on a date yet.
Yeah, and he owes her a one-on-one. So
exactly, and the other girls understood that. They're like, yeah, we'd like to go on a date with him, but hey, it's McKenzie's turn. We get it. So yeah, again, that was no surprise whatsoever either.
And Brandon chooses Emerson. Now, I mean, Brandon's camp's all about Emerson these days. Like, he's all over her.
Oh yeah, it seems that way. And he's still into freaking Grace too. You could tell, like, when they were going on the little tractor ride and all that stuff. But yeah, I think Emerson's he's definitely leaning more towards her now for sure.
Yeah, and Joy, I guess, just biding her time.
Yeah, Joy needs to be gone. I mean, at this point, she's just there to be there, and there's nothing between those two. And it's totally obvious, and she even mentions it. It's time for her to just leave.
Yeah. And then Mitchell chooses Sydney, so Sydney finally gets her date. She's been kind of patient this whole time. And
well, I mean, on this one, I think Mitchell knows that if he didn't choose Sydney this time, he's going to lose her. He's like, all right, I got to choose Sydney. She deserves it. It's her time. I got to spend some quality time with her. Because if he chose the other chick over Sydney, I think that'd have been it. I think Sydney'd be like, all right, I'm done.
I think that's the strongest connection on the show so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, Taylor and Nathan are pretty close. Yeah. Even though Taylor didn't get much love this show.
No, but the other girls even mentioned though that hey, we could tell Taylor and him are connecting pretty well, and it's just they got this strong connection. It's kind of hard to compete with that, right? So even though they didn't show it on this episode, the girls have talked about it. At least one of them did anyway. Yeah,
and I think Mitchell's plan is just to kind of save Sydney to the end. But when she pulls you aside and essentially says, "I need a one-on-one date," like
you can't ignore it. No,
so
definitely not.
He gives that to her.
And it seemed good, man. They went and did some fishing. They caught some fish, so like it was a good date.
Yeah, he acknowledged too that like she was the one that stuck around, when he brought the second girl in, or the random extra person in, like, she stuck around. So that meant something to him.
Yeah, I think that said a lot about her too. So
Yeah, no doubt, man. Sydney's a sweetheart. I mean, I think hands down, she's got to be his go-to right at this point. I mean, they got the most in common. You know, she gets along with him great. She fits in with that farm life. So I mean, I don't see him going any other way at this point.
now let's talk about these one-on-one dates. What did you think about these?
Like I said, Sydney's is cool. I mean, I like fishing. You know, they went out there, got out on the river, did a little bit of fishing together, caught some fish. You know, and they had a good date there.
Yeah, and she says, "Hey, I come with some baggage. I have 2 sheep back home." So I'm like, "Well, you're on the right show."
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, it's in perfect, man.
You are on the right show.
And of course, he was like, "Yeah, I could do with some sheep on my farm." So yeah, I mean, he's only got 1 horse. The dude needs some freaking animals, right? So,
Yeah, true. And this
There
was
you
a
go.
cool, this was a cool moment because I mean she actually catches a fish. Like it seemed pretty early, so that was nice to see. And then he takes her to the side. He does the picnic deal by the lake or whatever, and sings her a song.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Cowboy and his guitar. So
that was I felt bad for him, man. That was horrible.
I thought it was adorable.
Oh, that was horrible.
yeah,
I was
she,
like,
she
oh,
kind of
man.
melts.
I'm surprised you didn't like it, Billy.
No,
Yeah, she
I mean,
melts in his arms. You ever melted in anyone's arms?
If he had like put some more thought into it, and it wasn't just like an off the cuff, we're by the river, we're gonna be together.
Seemed like some kind of
like,
Adam Sandler song.
right, exactly. I was like, what the hell is this guy doing, man?
And I'm lucky too.
Bless you.
I can see you floating like this river, catching trout with you to the end of forever.
Now Brandon takes Emerson to the spa.
Yeah,
It'll be a great
Yeah, hot
song
springs.
at their wedding.
right.
Yeah. The spa, they didn't really show them off too much. It's almost like they were trying to hide Brandon a little bit.
Well, I mean, Brandon's.
I saw his little star tribal tattoo,
Yeah, I saw
though,
that,
Brandon.
right.
Don't think I didn't see
We saw
that.
that.
I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon's not the most, masculine and muscular of dudes, right? I mean, he's just, he's Brandon, So I mean, they kind of did him a solid there. Didn't just focus in on him too much, and because that's not what the show's about, I guess, right? It's just about him trying to connect with her at an emotional, level at this point, because it's the physical one's already working, right? So
Yeah, and she says she's never been in love before. Is that a red flag or no?
I don't know. I mean, I don't consider it a red flag. I really don't. At this, I mean, maybe she just hadn't found the right guy.
What do you think, Ashleigh?
maybe
Is that a
she's
red
fo- or
flag
maybe
at
she's
her
focused-
age?
No, I don't think that's a red flag. I mean, it's not anything like what Joy said, which is basically said she just doesn't have feelings at all for anything.
I am a robot.
Right, exactly, yeah. And maybe she's been like focused on her career or something, on other things, vice, dudes, So
Maybe. Now, Ty takes Ashleigh on a date to the banks of Mississippi. They have a little dinner date.
yeah, but I didn't see any food brought out. Like
They had some food on their plate, but I
Did
couldn't
they?
really make it out. I'm always
Yeah,
looking
I
for the food.
Yeah, exactly, man. I couldn't tell. They looked damn near empty.
You guys are obsessed with the food.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, she says, I'm willing to move for the right guy, but I have a job back home and I treat cancer patients, and that's very important to me.
Yeah, well, she said, I'd stick with him to the end. So evidently it's primarily terminal patients she's dealing with, and she said, look, I stick with them until they're gone.
And Ty says she's a woman with an occupation. I'm like, yeah, I guess that's what
Yeah,
that means.
Good job, Ty.
And what's interesting about this, they finish their dinner and they light some fireworks and they have a kiss. Like you're like setting Ty up because like that's kind of
yeah.
awkward if you don't kiss during that moment, right?
Yeah, the show's totally set him up for success there, no doubt.
So maybe they're like, hey, we got to spice things up with Ty. How we do? We're setting these fireworks off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
It's not going to work. She's out. She's already out.
Yeah,
She does start questioning
so.
some things, and that's a little weird to me. It's like, look, we all have jobs for the most part, and like, yeah, everyone's probably. I'm sure those patients aren't going, without anyone. So
Yeah, well, then she was like, he still has connections with other women too, and and I'm just, I mean, if that's gonna be the case, and he's not focusing on me, then it's like, is this really worth it for me? And it's like, dude, you just got here. It's like, you gotta get, it's like you just got here. You've been here for like a week now or something.
Well, what I have to say about the job situation is like she went there for this. She's obviously not feeling like an immediate connection, and now she's kind of like, I thought I could do this, but she's second guessing the whole thing because she's not comfortable there, and she's using the job as an excuse because now she obviously wants to go back.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah, that's a good point. That totally could be what's going on.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to be embracing the farm thing.
Nah.
But
especially with camels.
Yeah, but we'll get to that. But we move over to Nathan, and I thought Nathan had like the lamest date out of all of them, especially being with McKenzie. Like he literally just goes next to like a stream or a creek, and they have like a little picnic.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
it.
That's his favorite spot.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe you gotta do something more than that. At this point, everyone's doing that, and then doing something else on top of it. I was like, that's it? That's all you're giving her?
Yeah. And he did say, "Oh, I'm gonna bring you to my favorite spot."
It's a magical
spot.
Like,
come on, man. Yeah, it looks
lamest date of the bunch. Everyone else, like Brandon's taking people to the spa. I mean, Ty's got fireworks. We're sitting here by the creek.
Yeah, like couldn't freaking the show put some damn fireworks at the creek for him? You know, like what the hell they did for Ty at the river.
I don't know.
You know, yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe have someone come out and
at least
music or something.
Or maybe some sparklers. At least just hand him each a couple sparklers. You know, let them do something.
So yeah, I was a little disappointed in that date, but I don't know. Maybe McKenzie thought it was good, and I do like Nathan.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
But yeah, I don't know if McKenzie can overcome Taylor at this point, though.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, it's definitely going to be between those two, but I still think Taylor's basically got in the bag.
And then now it's time to put him to work on the farm, our favorite part of the show.
Yeah, it is such nonsense, man. Like it's just crap freaking stuff that this show throws in there for farm work, you know, just quick 2 seconds of stuff here and there. I'm like, come on, man, let's get some real stuff.
Yeah, this is all kind of filler stuff. You know what I wish they do is like, I wish they'd get some like rough, tough women and like they put them on a mechanical bull and they say whoever lasts the longest gets a one-on-one date.
There you go. Hell yeah. That'd be awesome.
And I mean, that's something I'd like to see. Like which woman is going to outlast the others on the mechanical bull?
Mm-hmm. That'd be cool.
Maybe a second one you have like a dance and then have like some judges that rate whoever has the best dance with the farmer and then they get the date. Like they got to start coming up with moments here. Yeah, and like setting a little picnic blanket down is not a moment. I'm sorry. Like you got to go above and beyond that.
No, it's lame, man. I mean, there's just so much lame stuff going on that, you know, like you said, there's plenty of ways they could spice it up. You can have different competitions, different farming type competitions, right?
I mean,
you know, there's
gather the pigs, do whatever. Right. I don't know, run around, get a chicken, whatever, you know.
Right. There's plenty of stuff they could do out there. there's plenty of stuff they could do out there to spice it up. Freaking chicken run.
Yeah, something. I would even settle for like them in a bag, like racing at this point. Something.
Oh, shit, like a potato bag
race.
And I tell you, as lame as these ideas are, they're better than what they're showing on the show.
Oh, man, no doubt.
Oh. And now Brooke pulls Ty's side. Because, you know, she's been feeling kind of left out. And she's like, there's too many women here. So, Ty, you got to get rid of somebody.
He's like, you know what, sweetheart? I was thinking the same thing. Go get your shit and get out of my house.
And, yeah, Ty's at first, like, really confused. He's like, I thought you didn't want to date. And she's like, are you stupid? Of course I wanted to date. I just was, you know, trying to allow you to have time with some other women because I feel comfortable, but like that doesn't mean like I never want to date.
Right, exactly.
And he's like, huh?
Yeah, he's like that's miscommunication.
He totally gaslit her in that conversation. He was like, I thought I could just leave you in the corner the whole time. Like I didn't think I had to come out and play with you. It doesn't make any sense. Your communication was bad.
Right, yeah, exactly. Remember, she even came to him like an episode or two ago, like, okay, I want my date now. It's time for my date. So she's told him before that, look, dude, I want my freaking date. And he's just been pushing her off, right?
Yeah, in the last episode, they have great communication, but at least she approached him to try and have some communication. Right. Like he hasn't been. She approached him this time and last time. What's he doing for her?
Oh, he's doing nothing for her, dude. That ship sailed. He's just done with her.
So he said, I don't think we're meant to be together.
Yeah. So. He's like, thank you for allowing me to send you home.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny that she was like, I didn't see that coming. Like, you didn't see that coming?
Right. You didn't think it would backfire on you?
Right.
That was funny.
Yeah, like as soon as you said that, you should have known that if anybody's going home, it's your ass at this point.
Yeah, I mean, who else would it be at this point?
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, that's a little odd. But, you know, I think she's somewhat fine going home, too. I mean, I don't think she expected that, but she has to be somewhat fine.
Yeah.
The writing's on the wall.
Yeah, I don't think she's into that dude. I really don't. Yeah, and I don't blame her, to be honest, but yeah, that was funny, man.
No.
They get to choose to eliminate someone at the end. And this is kind of lame, too, right? Because they show 2 of the 4, and the 2 of the 4 they show don't eliminate anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
So
one of the things, too, then we've already had 2 go home this episode, right? So
But Ty and Nathan, they don't send anyone home. And, of course, Ty already lost someone, so generally you don't send someone home when that happens.
Yeah, and so did Nathan.
So, yeah, it makes sense.
Right, yeah, it makes sense.
And then, do you think Joy, now Brandon does pull Joy aside, and that's kind of where it is. Is Joy going home, or what's happening here?
If the show would let Brendan let him send her home, yes, I think she's going home. But at this point, I think the freaking producers have been like, nah, dude, you got to keep her for another week. Keep her for another week. I think he'd have sent her ass home a while back. But if the show will let him do it this time, then I think he'll probably send her home.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we should back up and talk about the camels with Ty, too. Because Ty, has the women, care for the camels, and Ashleigh's not really playing that game.
Nah, she wasn't digging the camels. Well, then it's funny too. When they were trying to teach the camels to lay down and shit, Melody was crack shot, man. Boom, that camel laid down.
Melody really stepped up, and I could see her nurse thing come out because when she had to inject the stuff into the camel, she was right in there, man.
She's Dr. Doolittle. She said,
and Ashleigh was a little hesitant, and they showed her first, and I was a little surprised because her being a cancer patient, I thought she'd be more in there, but it was Melody.
She ain't a veterinarian cancer doctor, man.
She's these things spit out of them. I don't know.
But then Ty was kicking the legs and shit. He was kicking the camel's legs, trying to get this thing to lay down. And it was nope.
Melody really stepped up this episode. And if you remember at the very beginning, I thought Melody and him were solid. And I'm back to thinking that I just don't like it for her because I really liked him at the beginning, but the more and more I watch the show, the more he is just not relationship material.
Yeah, and I agree. You're right, because all three of us in the beginning, when we were talking about who we thought we're oh, Melody, that's it. They're gold. And then kind of that went to the wayside. Now it's kind of back. But like I said, I mean, I'm thinking for her, I hope it doesn't work out for her because I just don't think that dude's that great of a guy. So
yeah, I don't know who he has a strong connection with currently. I mean. I would say Melody too, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we actually seen them connect, so.
Right, exactly.
And she's doing good with the camels, but that doesn't mean she's building a relationship with Ty, so. Yeah. And Brandon, he takes his girls out on the tractor and they seem kind of excited about that, so. Yeah. What do you think, Ashleigh? Tractor ride, does that get you going?
They think his tractor sexy.
No. They do think his tractor is sexy, but no, it does not get me going.
And it's kind of awkward, right? The ladies are watching the other ladies go for a tractor ride, and it's they're oh, there they go. Yeah. And I'm like, what is this?
Well, then again, you can see the disconnect between him and Joy, because Joy's just sitting there, so then he had to start talking to her to get her to talk, and it was just man, they didn't let him send his chick home.
It was awkward. It was just an awkward carnival ride. It's okay, you get out, your turn, and it wasn't it's different if you're like going out and you're doing some kind of farm work with him and riding around in the tractor and like maybe having a conversation, but it just seemed very, I don't know, theme parkish.
Yeah, it was like that's a shit like you do for like a 7-year-old kid. Hey, come on the tractor, let me take you for a ride around.
I honestly don't think they have much planned on this show.
No,
they're just
don't.
like, what are we gonna have these women do? You know, to dig a hole, do this, like feed something. I don't
Brandon,
know.
Can your tractor do circles? Oh man.
Yeah, I mean they need to the working stuff. They need to have it better thought out, and I want to see competition. Make them earn their way, you know.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it has been bad.
I mean, I think everyone could have a good time. I think the girls would have a better experience. I think the guys would have a good time. So
maybe that's the point, though. There ain't nothing to do on the farm. You ain't ever gonna have fun. This is your life.
Right. There you go.
We're showing you the real deal. And if picnics by the creek don't get you going either, then I'm sorry. That's as romantic as it gets around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Overall thoughts about this episode, the show, where we're at today.
Dude, weak sauce, man. It's still weak sauce. And like I said, they got to pick it up, man. They got to do something. I mean, it's cool to see 2 more people go home. You know, and Grant. But again, here we go. Those 2 people, well, at least one of them decided to take herself out. So again, we're not seeing a farmer make a decision. We're seeing the woman make the decision, right? And then
Mitch is struggling. He's like crying because he's like, I only sent one home. Right. And it's like, come on, man, you got 4 of them or whatever.
And then they see, and then like he's walking away, and they see the boom man just holding the freaking boom, like just.
He's like, will you make a decision? Jesus,
right, just send somebody home.
We know you're going to end up with Sydney at the end of the day anyway. Right. So what are we doing here?
I think he wants to be Mormon and have multiple wives or something.
Right? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned because the new girl seems like she could be going, but I really think he needs to give her more of a chance.
Well, and that's what he said. He's like, I don't want to send her home before I at least have a chance to go on a date with her. Which, okay, that's fair. Sure, I get that, but at the same time, like if you really got your heart set on Sydney at this point, man, then you need to send somebody home, right? You need to start doing this stuff down.
Now, next week looks interesting because it seems like the parents are here. And, one of them says, I like a specific girl. And he's like, who?
Can I tell you who my favorite is?
Who?
Yeah.
Like Mitch says
Yeah, Mitch's mom,
so.
Mitch's mom
He's
or
like,
something.
tell me who you
Right.
think.
Right. Who should have picked mom? Tell me.
Mitch definitely needs that advice, it seems like. So,
Well, he called his brother the one episode.
He's always deferring to somebody. What should I do?
Hey, call a friend. Phone a friend.
Yeah, so.
I can picture this guy at his wedding, like, do you take this woman? And he looks around at his family.
Look at his mom.
I don't know.
His mom nods at him. He's like, okay, I do.
Yes.
And I just don't see why it's a hard decision when you got Sydney right there for you. And those other two, what are you doing with them?
Yeah, exactly.
So there doesn't seem to be a spark with them.
Nah. And I thought, and I can't remember her name, but I thought he was going to send that one. I was like thinking if any of them, he's going to send that one blonde girl home, And then he was like, I'm going to keep everybody again for another week. Not the new blonde girl, but the old
I think
one.
it's Kait and Kiana or something.
Kait. Yeah, Kait. I was thinking if anybody he's going to send home, it'll probably be Kait. And then he was like, no, I'm not going to send anybody home. It's like, come on, dude. You got to start making some decisions. Yeah, and then Brandon pulling Joy outside right there at the end. Again, it's like, well, like I said, if they'll let him send her home, then he'll send her home. But if the girl's like, nah, dude, you still only got 3 girls. We need her for another week. Then he's just going to be stuck with her. So.
Well, going down to 2 is kind of tough. So
Yeah.
But I mean, let's face it, it's coming down to Grace or Emerson, and probably Emerson at this point. But I still think Grace does have a chance.
I think Emerson. It's just that's too strong of a connection, physical. Like there's such a physical magnetism between the two of them, and then on their hot springs date, they did connect emotionally as well. So I didn't see that physical connection with him and Grace.
It's funny because
a little bit
because he even mentioned they did, but she's telling him like her story and everything that's going on. He's just like, yeah.
Well, I did
just
notice.
Shaking his head like, yeah.
I did notice his leg was over on top of hers. So.
Yeah, she had like hand on his leg the whole time.
It's like he was almost sitting in her lap a little bit, and I was like, "What is this?" So, I mean, that's a good sign he feels comfortable with that.
Right.
her love language is physical touch, but we never learned what his love language is. So
right. Now, I did like that he, at the beginning, he did say, hey, she and I obviously have a great physical connection. I really want to get a more emotional connection. So that's showing maturity at his level. Like, if I'm going to pick a wife here, I can't just be on the physical. I need to make sure I've got other connections with her as well. But, her love language is definitely physical touch. At least that's what the show is portraying to us anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, now that it's finally starting to somewhat come down to the wire, I guess I'm looking a little more forward to the episodes, but, I mean, they got to do something to pick it up, man. They really do. Because this show is just getting... It's not great.
Well, it's also not good if you can see them with a particular woman and you're just dragging the show.
Exactly.
I think you could have multiple good shows of these guys with just two people. If they form two strong connections, take Brandon, Emerson, and Grace, and you had 4 episodes where it was just the two of them, he's really gonna take the time to connect to each one of them, and it's gonna give you that dramatic pull of him being pulled to one or the other. So I don't know why you have to have 4 or 5 women there. It doesn't make any sense.
Now I do think with what's his name? They would still have him 4. It's yeah, okay, bro, that's on you, But Mitch, but it's I'm sure. I mean, maybe the show is trying to talk him into getting rid of one. Who knows? But at this point, I'm I do definitely need to let somebody go.
They gotta tap into his family. They gotta call his brother or his mom and be call him, tell him to send somebody home.
All right, well, there you have it, folks. That is another episode down, episode 8. We got, it probably can't be more than 3 or 4 more, if that, right? Something like that, maybe 2 more. I don't know.
See.
I don't know, man, but they need to pick this show up, I think. We need some more something, some action, drama. I don't even know at this point what it needs, but it needs something.
Yeah, and we're also looking for another show, so if you're watching something that you'd love to hear us talk about, let us know.
Absolutely. And as always, guys, hit that like and subscribe, and we love chatting with you. Hit us up on here. Let us know what you're thinking about the show as well, and we will check y'all in our next review.